Good morning, students. Back with your GK class, starting with the subtopics of sports, lawn tennis, and gymnastics. So, going to page number 40, that is lawn tennis. Now, lawn tennis, as you have heard, is a sport that is played all over the world, and the major tournaments are Wimbledon, US Open, French Open, and Australian Open. Rules: the game starts with a coin toss to determine which player must serve first and which they want to serve from. The server must then serve each point from the alternative sides on the baseline. At no point must the server's feet move in front of the baseline on the court prior to hitting their serve. The server fails to get their first serve, in which they take advantage of second serve. If they again fail to get their second serve, in which a double fault may be called and the point is lost. If the server clips the net but the ball goes in the server area, still then the late is called and they get to take that serve again without penalty. If the ball hits the net and fails to go in the service area, then out is called and they lose that serve. The receiver may stand where they wish upon receipt of the serve. If the ball is struck without the serve bouncing, then the server will receive the point. Once a server has been made, the amount of shots between the players can be unlimited. The point is won by hitting the ball so that the opponent fails to return it in the scoring areas. Points are awarded in scores of 15, 30, and 45. 15 represents 1 point, 30 is 2, and 40 is 3. You need 4 points to win the game. After winning 1 point from deuce, the player is on advantage. If the player wins the second point, they win the game. If they lose, it goes back to deuce. To win the set, a player must win 6 games by 2 or more. The opening sets will go to the break if it's and close as 6 is where player plays first to 7 points. The final set will not have to take the break and requires players to win the 2 games with no limits. If a player touches the net, distracts his opponent or impedes in any way, then they automatically win or lose the point. The ball can hit any part of the line for the point to be called in, outside the line, and the baseline. Then is another set. The ball in a tennis match are changed for new balls every 6 games. A player loses a point if he fails to return the ball in either the correct areas on the court, hits the net and doesn't go into opponent's area, or fails to return the ball before it bounces twice in their half. Scoring. You need to score 4 points to win the game of tennis. The points are known as 15, 1 point, 32 points, and 43 points, and the fourth would result in the winning point and the end of the game. If the scores went to 40-40, this would be known as deuce. When a game reaches deuce, the player must then win by 2 clear points, winning the game. To win the game, you must win a certain amount of sets. Winning a set is simply the first player to reach 6 games, but have to be clear by at least 2 games. If your opponent wins 5 games, you must win the set 7-5. If the set goes to 6s, then the break is played and the winner is simply the first player to reach 7 points. Now choose the correct option from the given options. What's the first thing you should do when you and your opponent lose track of the same score in a game? So that is, go back and replay only the point in a question. Second, you call a ball out, but as you hit it back, you realize it was good. What do? You correct the call and lose the point. Now third, I hit a great drop shot and believe the ball bounces twice before my opponent hit it back. My opponent disagrees. Whose call is it? It is your opponent's call. Who is supposed to call the game score before each point? The server. The spectator is allowed to make a call on a shot hit in a match when? Never. Player A hits a shot to player B that appears to go through a hole in the net. Whose call is it? Player B. Player A is not sure of a call and at her end of the court and asks her opponent, player B, for her option. Player B says the ball was good. What must player A do now? Accept player B's call. Eighth one, when a call from another court rolls into your court during a point in a single match, who can call of that? Either player can call a lead as soon as they see the ball. Now, going for gymnastics. So, it is a sport which involves physical strength, flexibility, power, agility, coordination, grace, balance, and control. Read the description and identify the various moves in gymnastics. Write their names to the space provided. A forward flip of the body where the gymnast lands on the hands and the legs, then follows in the same direction as a pair. To get the moment for the move, the gymnast runs a few steps, puts the dominant foot to forward while the hands are up straight, tied to the ears and eyes looking in front. This is called front handspring. Now is second, a backward rolling movement on the floor where the knees of the gymnast are tracked in as far as possible. The move is also commonly performed in the sport of swimming, that is backward somersault. Third, a basic sideways move where the hands reach the floor one at a time towards the side and the legs also follow in a similar way. While performing this move, the gymnast does a full rotation from standing position to an inverted one and again back to the standing position. This is cartwheel. It is a move in which the gymnast moves from a gliding or hanging position on a bar to a front support position. He or she first brings the legs to the bar, then the hips and pulls herself till the first front support position is attained, that is skip. Fifth one, it is a move in which gymnast circles the parallel bars or unwanted bars while the hips are touching the bars. This move can be performed two ways, that is front hip and back hip. The move is also done with letting the hips touch the bar, so that is hip circle. Sixth one, it is a combination of forward wing and release from high bar ending with back flip off to the bar. It is a kind of dismount that can be performed from high bar, uneven bars or rings. Professional gymnasts present difficult variations which include multiple twists and flips, so that is flyaway. So this completes your syllabus, and now we will meet in next week.